Hi everybody, it's me, LisaT, coming at you with some positive energy reading. The Language of Letting Go by Beattie. I am some days behind here, so letting go of the past, yep. October 26th we're doing. Clarity. Gaining clarity. And sometimes we have to wait for clarity to come. Sometimes we have to be patient. It's okay to not know right now. Clarity is coming. If we continue to trust and have faith, trust the process, have faith in higher powers, have faith in God, have faith in ourselves, then clarity will come. Whatever thing is confusing you right now, or whatever thing doesn't make sense, like life is lived in the moment and understood in hindsight, and we can get clarity in the moment. We can get clarity in hindsight, or we can get clarity as it's coming up to it, but we got to trust the process as that comes. I didn't know what was happening to me really like a month ago when I was going through a try some time. Is that how you say it? I was going through a time, I'll just say that. And I could sense that there was something that was going to come of it. I knew there was going to be clarity. I had faith and hope. I didn't have it in the moment, but I had hope and faith that it was going to come, and it did. So clarity, October 26th. I know better than to not trust God, but sometimes I forget that. There you go. So I that's one of the things that trips me up when I go, I know better, when I can tell myself, oh, I know better, I should have, but then I'm like trying to replay the past in some other way, and I'm not trusting God. So I know better than to not trust God. I gotta trust God, but sometimes I forget that, and that's okay. And that's why we have support systems and friends and the work to keep us back on track, or get us back on track. Okay. When we are in the midst of an experience, this is what I just spoke of. When we are in the midst of an experience, it's easy to forget that there is a plan. Sometimes all we can see is today. Sometimes that's all we can see. We don't, sometimes we can see like what's coming down the pipeline, and sometimes we can't. Sometimes all we can see is just today. That's why we just got to live one day at a time. Keep it in the moment. Keep it in the day. Keep ourselves, keep our thoughts. When I say keep ourselves and our thoughts and our ideas and stuff like that. Keep it all in the day. So it's easy to forget that there's a plan, and sometimes all we can see is today. If we were to watch only 2 minutes of the middle of a television program, it would make little sense. So if you're just going to watch the 2 minutes of the middle of a program, it's not going to make any sense. It would be a disconnect every time. If we were to watch a wavering sewing, if we were to watch a weaver sewing a tapestry for only a few moments and focus only on a small piece of the work, it would not look beautiful. Or a big puzzle. If you got a big puzzle and you've only got 2 little pieces or 4 little pieces together in the middle, and that's all you can see, it's not going to make sense. So what it's saying is we don't have the big picture. It's going to tell us we don't have the big picture. We don't know what the big picture looks like. We're only seeing one little small speck today. So if we're to watch a weaver sewing a tapestry for only a few moments and only focus on a small piece of the work, it would not look beautiful. It would look like just a few particular threads randomly placed. How often we use that same limited perspective to look at our life? How often do we just look at that, one little piece and go, this doesn't make sense. I don't know how it's all going to fit together. Especially when we're going through a difficult time. We can learn to have perspective when we are going through those confusing, difficult learning times. Those are all learning times. It's when we're getting stretched and pushed. We're having growing pains in those moments. So it can be a little painful. It's difficult. So we can learn to have perspective when we are going through those confusing, difficult learning times. When we are being pelleted by events that make us feel, think, and question, we are in the midst of learning something important. So just know when you're starting to in your life, you could tell yourself, okay, this means something. Lisa told me that this means I'm in a learning process and something awesome is coming down the pipeline. I'm being stretched and I'm getting some growing pains for the next level. We can trust that something valuable is being worked out in us. Even when things are difficult, even when we cannot get our bearings, insight and clarity do not come until we have mastered the lesson. And life is kind of like Groundhog Day. There's a few big, huge lessons we're going to learn, and we'll keep running around it and learning a little bit more of the lesson and a little bit more of the lesson and a little bit more of the lesson. And then that's why we start to expand. It's this funneling process, And so, trust that something valuable is being worked out in us, even when it's difficult. Insight and clarity do not come until we have mastered the lesson. So once you mastered the lesson, then you up level, and then you get to the next one. Faith is like a muscle. Everything. I'm so glad I'm a massage therapist, because so much of life relates to like what I've learned in my practice with muscles and pressure. Like when we push on something, it's like, it's painful, but we need to push on that spot. So in life, when we get pushed into that, when life is pushing on that spot, in your emotions, it's let it ease into it, relax into it, let it go, all these things, because relief is on the other side of that. So, and our faith, these thoughts, all of it's like we have to practice this stuff, and because we're building muscle, we're building faith muscle, we're building trust the process muscle, we're building trust ourselves muscles. We're building on all of that. So, faith is like a muscle. It must be exercised to grow strong. If you want to work on patience and you're thinking about that, guess what? Life is going to present you with situations where you feel like you can't keep patience. Because we need those practices to grow strong. Repeated experiences of having to trust what we can't see, and repeated experiences of learning to trust the things that things will work out are what makes our faith muscle grow strong. Trust it. Trust it. Here's your prayer for today. Today, I will trust that the events in my life are not random. Trust that. It's not random. My experiences are not a mistake. It's not just random mistakes happening. The universe, my higher power, and life are not picking on me. I am going through what I need to go through to learn something valuable. I'm going through this to learn something valuable. It's all love. Everything that's coming at you is love. So learn from that. Why is this coming up? Oh, so I can build resistance against that, or so that I can learn that when someone says something mean to me, I don't get taken down because my emotions are not dependent on, like, you're learning some valuable lesson, something that will prepare me for the joy and love I am seeking. Life is preparing you for everything you're seeking. One more time for that prayer. Today, I will trust that the events in my life are not random. My experiences are not a mistake. The universe, my higher power, and life are not picking on me. I am going through what I need to go through to learn something valuable, something that will prepare me for the joy and love I am seeking. Woo! Amen. Hit subscribe for me, please. Join me on the journey. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're watching. Thanks for watching. I love you all.